actually post this now. Hold on. Building bots featuring OpenClaw. There we go. Take two. Love it. There we go. All right. And we are live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's a shame because our first intro was like banger. I felt really good about it. It may not have been great, but you know what? I loved it. I'm just gonna try my best to recreate it. But you know what they say, second time's never quite as good as the first. My name is Trav. We've got Kobe. We've got Quantix together. We are Web3 Matters, and we're just gonna dive right in.
Oh, let's go. I have to practice because I feel like it would be so silly for me to try even do it here. But it seems like I master this.
It's crucial. It's a team requirement now. If you want to be a part of Web3 Matters, you got to know the hand signal. There you go. There
Yo,
you
I
go.
can't even do it, so I just do this. It's like
There we go.
whatever. Like, yeah, I'm just
That'll be the interim. Perfect.
just a
Guys, we had
janitor.
some
I just work here.
crazy technical difficulties this morning. For some reason, X would not let us stream, but we're here. We persevered. We broke through. We break the rules. We don't even know the rules, so we're good to go. Guys, we have a really exciting conversation to talk about today. If you guys have been paying attention to anything that's happening on crypto Twitter at the moment, clawbots are going all over the place here. And we're going to get into that in a sec because my man Kobe has been just grinding. You should see some of the pictures that he sent us, some of the just extracts of data that he sent us. It's all a little hint, little teaser. He's building some bots for prediction markets and then for other specific markets. And I'm hopeful. I'm really excited. Bottom line is we're going to share everything with you guys, the entire process, the bots themselves. It's going to be awesome. But before we dive into that, before stream, we were talking about X402. And I was really fired up about what you guys were talking about. Didn't get to fully pay attention. So why don't we kind of carry on with that? And maybe you guys can start off by letting us know what the heck is X402? And then is it more exciting than it sounds? Because all I hear is letters and numbers.
Yeah, so X402 is a payments protocol that is built into HTTP, meaning that it's native to the internet itself. It actually comes from something old that has been used, which is this HTTP X402 code or whatever. Uh, and very recently, the team at Coinbase, they work on a solution adding payment rails to this, right? What I mean by payment rails is like really anything. So the way it works is like a client would request for a specific content that is in HTTP format, HTML format, and if you want to access this, the server is going to ask, okay, you cannot because you're not paying for it. It has a certain price, whatever price. So this is what you have to pay per request. And then you would send again the instructions to access with the payment instructions. And as long as that's valid and it's like very broad what valid is, then you can access that content. The thing is that you can use that for payments that are on chain, meaning that you can have payments with these requests that settle on any blockchain. And because of that, we have seen applications of these for AI agents that are using this protocol for e-commerce, for instance. Yeah, it's like a very modern way of going around performing payments online that does not require to do any sort of sign in to any service. That's the cool thing, right? So right now, if you want to pay online, of course you can, but you have to sign into something, get some data, extra data and extra steps to get into a site, then be accepted and whatnot. So this is a strictly at the protocol level on the HTTP side on the internet. So that's why people are hyped up about this, and we still haven't seen like the most, let's say, innovative applications. This is just getting started now.
I'm curious too, like where kind of the intersection of X402 and like not even just agent payments, right? Because like I could use X402 probably in a curl command, right, from the terminal, like buy coffee from my terminal or something like that. Um, Instead of having to go through a website, go through a UI or whatever, or even like maybe that could be a way that I create my own auto repurchase, right? Like maybe I have an automation that runs once a month on this day. My AI agent runs a curl command and orders me coffee, right? And I don't have to worry about Amazon or even wasting any time. But I'm curious where the intersection of like privacy, like where we had that kind of like little privacy coin run of just a few months ago, right? Like Zcash went crazy. This was obviously before like the market really like tanked. Um, but we were in that kind of like in between bull and bear phase. But yeah, privacy coins went crazy. I kind of um, started getting interested in like BitTensor and like where the intersection between AI and privacy is. And so the natural conversation for me, like, where does that go? Is there going to be a way to encrypt the, X402? And again, like you said, we haven't seen like a bunch of crazy innovative stuff on built using that protocol. But we will. And also it's like it's payments, right? So like it's kind of boring in the big picture, but money makes the world go round, So,
Yeah.
I mean, because right
100%.
now, if I want an agent to pay for something, like when we're gonna get into like OpenClaw and stuff today, like I could give the OpenClaw bot my like credit card, and it could probably, if it wasn't using X402, it could probably spin up like a virtual browser, go to the thing, click into the box, paste my credit card address in or credit card in, or it could use a private key and it's like environment variables. But honestly, that's like not safe, like a curl command that like maybe links to an environment variable seems much safer to me. I don't know. What do you think about that?
So when it comes to privacy, yeah, it's not like it comes like built-in privacy for X402 because it's like, you have the standard thing that happens when you essentially interact with a server, and then if you're doing the settlement on a blockchain, then it's going to be like public. But yeah, you can of course implement things that are private if you have a chain that has CK or TEEs, or or if you're using like a one-time address per request. I obviously that's overcomplicating things. Um, but yeah, I think that's a fair concern, and that's the reason why this payment system needs to keep developing, right? So that it adds these other components such as private.
Right. Yeah. And it's kind of like time will tell. It's like still kind of early days. I know Coinbase was one of the people to like basically fund the build out of this protocol. Also, I found out Jeffrey Epstein was an early Coinbase backer. Just saying.
Bearish.
Bearish. The CIA made Bitcoin, so just no. But yeah, Coinbase, we're kind of the one of the first ones or we're the people to fund this protocol. So if they're part of the, world overlords or whatever, like I think they are, then like this will become a standard no matter what, and they'll find a way to weasel their way into it. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just it's inevitable at this point. So maybe we've gone down that rabbit hole a little bit too far when we start busting out the Epstein comment. That's how you know we've gone too far, bros. So Trav, reel us back in, man.
Love it.
You had a stream the other day. What did you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, well, actually, first things first. Let me just take off my my tinfoil speedo here. I'll set that aside here. I do want to take a quick moment and acknowledge all of our viewers here. We did. X has been causing us some issues today. It's been a little bit of a battle, but we already have people piling in. We actually have the most viewers currently on Pump.Fun, and our price, the chart is actually reacting very nicely to this as well here. So I just want to take a moment and thank you guys to our viewers on Pump.Fun right now. Really appreciate you guys being in here. Really appreciate your faith. We are very excited to share some really exciting things with you guys that will directly provide you value despite whether you hold, actually, no, if the most value will go to the token holders, but we hope to provide value to anybody watching our stream right now here. So just know this. Yeah, no, to get maybe real quick here before we jump into the topic of conversation. Yeah, I ran a stream earlier this week, and basically I shared my my clipping process on how we take our live streams and how we kind of find those best, most viral moments and create an engaging clip of that live stream. And the reason why I did that live is because a ton of my personal community who follows me, Trav Soul, our video editors, our clippers here. And so to kind of show how that works, people are making a ton of money clipping live streams here right now. So if you guys are curious on how to get started in clipping, kind of like some core principles on how to make the best clips possible, that's still available to watch. Just check out our Web3 Matters profile. And that's our second last stream, I guess, before this one here. So all that's there. If you guys want to see more of those, let me know as well. I'm more than happy to do those because I'm clipping every single day. So saying that,
real quick, can I stop you about clipping? And just want for anybody listening, they got construction next door, so I'm trying to be careful with my mute button. But anyways, have you ever heard of God dang, I can't remember the platform name, but there's like a bunch of little communities, and a lot of the most popular communities are like Aiden Ross Clippers or something, or like Kai Sanat Clippers, and like somebody like Aiden. And these might be like wrong examples, but like this is kind of a low-key side hustle for people.
Yes.
And I would like to maybe even explore this later, is like how can we vibe code and automation to like do that. Anyway, side note.
That would be cool, actually. That would be, I think people would use that for sure.
Yeah. Do you know about this like ecosystem of like people getting paid, like actually paid to clip for like bigger creators?
Yes, 100%. I'm part of one of them. I know Unfungible is creating a massive clipping community where they pay X amount of dollars per X amount of views. And it's awesome. And, not only is it paying creators, but it's also giving like talented creators, committed creators, consistent creators, tons of exposure. I've seen like some of like the better clippers who are posting every single day jump from like 2,000 to 6,000 followers in like 5-6 months, which is insane. Shout out to you. You know who I'm talking about here. So
and
yes,
somebody like that, are they doing it on their own personal account? Or are they like making separate accounts that are like, if I'm a clipper for 3 creators, am I going to have 3 separate accounts outside of my personal?
nope, your own personal account. And that's the beauty of it. You're making clips of like quality live streams. Well, whether it's quality or not, it's up to the discretion of the viewer here. But the cool thing is if it's picked up by, let's say, Thread Guy, and he likes the clip that you posted, he's gonna repost it. All of a sudden, you're looking at tens and hundreds of thousands of views, and that's going to boost up your ROI. That's going to boost up your followers, your exposure, your credibility as well. Because I find clipping is being received very, very well from just the community in general. And yeah, it's super lucrative right now. It's really taken off. Like the whole clipping meta is a huge part of like startup projects, especially crypto and Web3 products. Like this is how they're getting their narrative out there. There's a word I'm looking for, starts with a D.
Degenerate.
No, they're like getting their stuff out there. They're disseminating their like
distribution.
Yes, like the clipping is like a huge component of distribution. So not only is it helping the clippers themselves, it's helping these projects, it's helping these founders here. And actually, I'm hoping like maybe once we start generating more income, we can start some clipping campaigns and like it takes off. It absolutely takes off. I think that would be really helpful. But I digress. Any thoughts on clipping there, Q?
What are people doing with this stuff? Like, I don't understand it. The basics. Can you explain me the basics?
100%. So there's the basics are bread and butter of clipping. Somebody hosts a live stream. These clippers find the most entertaining, the most value add, the most alpha like clips, like 30 seconds to a minute long clips of the live stream, and cuts it into its own like short, like its own clip. And they'll add they'll edit it. They'll usually add captions. They could add music, motion graphics, and things like that. And then they'll post that from their own account. And like these clips are not only gaining a ton of attention, so they're getting a lot of views. They're growing their accounts, but then also live streams hosts projects who are hosting frequent live streams are starting these clipper campaigns where they have a whole bunch of people from different communities clip their live stream, and then they're paying these clippers X amount of dollars per thousand views, for example, for the work that they're doing. So not only is it gaining a ton of attention for themselves personally, but they're getting paid for it as well. And it's also benefiting the projects as well, because like a lot of people are starting to participate in this. There's a lot of high quality clippers out there right now. So the more people are actually doing this, the more exposure the project is getting. And it's just a really nice positive feedback loop there.
But help me understand this final thing, because AI can do this stuff, can it?
It can. And that's kind of the beauty of it, is that it's, while it can be very, very easy to clip, people are now having to start to kind of go a couple steps ahead and add more, like it's starting to become not just about that viral moment. Now it's also adding like how, like, people are starting to stand out now with better motion graphics. People are starting to stand
Okay.
out now by putting more effort into their clips to make it more catchy. So like
Okay.
it's interesting. It's what started off as just literally take the clip, post it, now is turning into, if you want to stand out from the clippers, because a lot of people are doing this now, you have to add a little bit more effort, a little bit more
Right.
flashiness
So it has
to make
like
it.
a creative component that is very hard
Yes,
to
a
reproduce with
hundred
AI.
percent, a hundred
Cool.
percent. Mhm.
Do you
So
think
yeah,
it's going to continue or just a trend?
I think it will continue for a while, until like the next thing comes out. But I think it
Right.
makes a ton of sense, a ton of room for it to evolve. And I think as we know, one of the reasons why we pivoted from live streams to, from spaces to live streams, actually having your face out there is that much more of a credibility boost. It allows you to connect with your audience more. For founders, for creators, for live stream hosts like ourselves, it allows us to connect with our community so much more. So I do truly see clipping hanging around for a good while.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And to get back to our project, Shipyard, if you guys want some alpha, if you guys want an actual course on how to clip, I'd be more than happy to do that. And then if anybody wants access to this, they can simply, we'll token gate it so that it does provide value for Shipyard. It's not going to be much. And then once you use X amount of tokens to access the clipping content, the world is your oyster. You can start to get paid very, very quickly. And if you guys are serious on this, I can also connect you to clipping communities and really get things going here. So yeah, that's huge
And there-
value add that I'd be more than happy to do.
But
Go ahead.
like doing some content in which we give some tokens to these clippers, and we try to do something with them to gain more exposure as well.
Ah, I love it. I think that's a great idea. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, if you guys want to clip our live streams, we'd be happy to reward you with some of our ship tokens here. I think that's a great idea. Let's formalize that. Let's put that into a post and make that happen.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like a good plan would be like short, like tiny course, to like a couple tutorial videos or one tutorial video about clipping.
Mhm.
That be our lead magnet, and then we follow up with like our own clipping campaign, and then maybe you start connecting them with people. I would feel like there's probably a way to work in like affiliate type of stuff, right? Like affiliate. I'm sure other clipping communities have like affiliate programs and stuff, and if not, whatever. But yeah, I just think it's kind of a cool snowball effect that we could create.
100%. I love it. I am fully into that. Let's definitely ideate and we'll make this happen after the stream here, guys. But yeah, if you guys are interested in this, if you want to make money clipping, if you want to learn how to clip, if you want to be rewarded for clipping our live stream, let us know. Drop a comment, whether you're on pump.fun, whether you're on X or any of our other locations right now. Let us know. And we'll make this happen. You literally just need one like, one comment. We will make this happen. Awesome. Shall we pivot back to the topic of conversation today, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love it. So, Kobe, why don't you start us off? Why don't you give us a high level overview of what we're doing and why it's super freaking exciting and promising, especially in terms of profits?
Right. So, as you guys know, and for anybody who doesn't, basically what our goal here with Shipyard is launch an app or a thing in like the clipping kind of example too, but like launch something and then teach people how to do that, rinse and repeat. It's literally that simple. It's that simple. Do something and then show you guys how to do it. And so our first app we built like I built like an NFT thing, cute little app. Obviously, you know, NFTs are whatever. But just wanted to get something out there first. The second thing that I built is a market maker bot, and so it actually is running live right now on the ship token as well. So if you do want to see kind of the transactions that it's doing, you can go over to the pump.fun page. Make sure you unselect the little like minimum buy toggle so you can see all the small buys, and you can see what I've got going on right there. And I'll show you guys kind of like the architecture and stuff like that. I'll explain to you what a market maker is and how I built it. And then also going to tell you guys about the next thing that I'm working on right now, which is like what Trav was referencing when I was like sending these like big screenshots of all this data, is a polymarket trading bot, specifically using OpenClaw, the OpenClaw framework, formerly ClaudeBot, formerly also MoltBot for like 24 hours. And so using that framework as kind of the brain, and then using this like data driven or this like more deterministic side. And so I'm kind of really excited to actually share the architecture of how I've decided to build this. And it took me a while, and it goes back to a stream that we've done a long time ago, and with the importance of planning, thinking, not being like married to your original idea and plan, and being able to pivot. So with your guys' blessing, I'll kind of go into like what is a market maker, why planning is important, and the system design kind of on a napkin. I have a little screen share I can do as well.
I think that's awesome. Actually, Kobe, do you mind if I extend a challenge your way going into this?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. If you can, try and frame this in a way. So, okay, let me take a step back here. When I think of market maker, I feel like something like this has nothing to do with me. I need millions of dollars of liquidity. I need tons of resources. I need tons of connections to even consider thinking about market making. Can you frame this in a way that speaks directly to the person who is watching us right now, who is a typical crypto user, maybe even a degen in the dishes, maybe someone who's building, maybe someone who's interested in vibe coding? Speak to these individuals and let them know how market making can help them.
Right. So how can market making help somebody without deep pockets, basically? So anybody now in 2026 and even the last couple of years, like anybody can launch a token for, you know, less than $1, right? In our example, Pump Fun, anybody can go and click a few buttons on like other chains that I've built on with like low gas prices, like, you know, layer twos or cheaper layer ones. You can do the same. There's either token launch pads, or you can just spin up a pre-made smart contract, have AI walk you through it now. However, in the past, when I've launched or I've been part of like really tiny teams that have launched, you could go on Deck Screener, and if there's no transactions for 24 hours, if it's still this way, it was in the past. If there's no transactions within 24 hours, your token on Deck Screener, unless you've paid for it, and this even if you paid, but it disappears. It's no longer searchable. It doesn't show up at all. So first thing, even if you just create a little bit of volume, you're gonna ensure that your page stays on deck screener. Okay. And when I say a little bit of volume, I literally mean one transaction a day. Of course, you could go in and you could swap manually one time a day, but who wants to do that? And so that's the first benefit, just to make sure your token stays up on deck screener. Secondly, the generation of volume by bots that you build naturally encourages other bots that are like programmatically designed to follow the volume. Right now, I'm going to be completely honest, you guys, we don't have a ton of money here either, right? Like, I'm literally was testing with pennies before, and then I've kind of upped the ante a little bit, and now we're testing with a total of like just over one soul, over in like 15 wallets. And I'll get into the architecture on like why the 15 wallets. So those two things, right? Like making sure your token stays visible, and creating volume to then attract bots. And then the third thing, which kind of piggybacks on number two, is if you are able to generate a sufficient enough volume, like let's say you create enough to attract the bots, then those bots plus your bots create an exponential number, and then that's going to attract human traders. In theory, right? Now us Shipyard, Web3 Matters with the SHIP token, we still might be underneath that threshold where we're like, I've noticed when I turn the bot on, there are sometimes like a flood of other tiny transactions that come in. So we could be scratching the surface with our claws, if you know what I'm saying. And we could be scratching the surface there. But it does require more capital to make a large impact. And so again, this, speaking directly to the folks that don't have deep pockets, it's still something that you need some capital to do. But over time, my theory is over time we can accumulate more capital, and then obviously start to pass that threshold where we attract more bots, right? And so what even is a market maker, right? And I made a little PDF here. Basically, if you don't mind, I might take over the screen if I can open with preview.
And while you do that, I just want to, something that's kind of connecting in my mind here is that this is a good way to kind of keep our token, keep our exposure alive while we're continuing to bake in those, like, just increase kind of the fundamentals of the work that we're doing here. So as we are creating more apps, as we are creating more educational courses, adding more and more value to Shipyard itself, we're also staying relevant, keeping eyes on the project, and I think that's massive.
Hell yeah, I think so too. And again, it's kind of a threshold. Is it left and right? Okay, there we go. Cool. So yeah, what is it? If you can see my screen, I've kind of just made these bullet points. And again, apologies for the construction. If it's too loud, we can kind of shift gears. But what is a market maker? So you're the person at the farmer's market who always has apples to sell and is always willing to buy the apples, right? So you can profit from the spread. You can create liquidity so other people can trade, especially on on markets that have limit orders. And then for token launches like ours, for example, now we didn't have any bots or anything running when we launched, but if you practice this, have one ready, you can generate that volume right away, and maybe you can have kind of this like blow off top that our launch had. But the thing is with ours, it was just random. I don't know. We could have a whole separate conversation on why we had so much volume right off the rip, 500,000 in the first 24 hours. But it's not magic, right? So it's a system literally that buys and sells on a schedule with rules, and the rules have been kind of the thing that I've struggled with the most because it involves math.
Here's the question, Kobe. There are multiple ways to set up a bot, and I'm sure that if you ask ChatGPT or whatever AI is going to tell you one. My question is if you have check out like public GitHub repos that are popular with bots that are market making and all that to just have broader context, because certainly this is not an area of expertise at the moment, right?
Absolutely. And so not only are there like I based my architecture off of like 3 other repos. I kind of like had AI do deep research on these 3 repos, find the commonalities, picked out what I thought was good, or at least what the AI thought was good, and then I basically validated that. Plus a few skill files. So for those who are like relatively new to vibe coding and using AI, there's markdown files, which are just text files that you can find out there. No, they all are on GitHub. Vercel hosts a bunch as well. But about market making, about trading bot architecture. And so I gave my agent all of this context before I even started writing an outline. But yes, lean on the moral of the story, which I think you're kind of hinting at, is lean on the things that are already out there. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. And then, okay, cool. So I'll move on to, man, is that too loud?
No, I could hear it, but it's just background noise at this point. So you're it's not interfering with you at all.
Right. So again, you guys are going to get sick of me hearing this, and then once we start launching the courses, every single course, I'm probably going to say this 500 times. Planning is like 90% of the build, right? So the AI or vibe coder trap is just jumping into Claude or Cursor and saying, build me a market maker bot, right? Gets you a toy that loses money, which I've done this before. And so what actually works is spend 2 to 3 hours writing a PRD architecture before touching code, right? So that's kind of the point there.
That's huge, actually, because I would have been that person to basically just say, write me a market making app.
Right. And dude, and honestly, like sometimes I've done this before, and you almost have to do shit the wrong way in order to like figure out, oh, this is the wrong way. Maybe I need to like zoom out or whatever. So dude, like there's no harm, no foul there in terms of build me a market maker bot or build me a polymarket thing that's profitable, and so I want to flip over to this like little basically like architecture. This is just, I don't want to talk about code. I'm not going to talk about code today at all. But when it comes to building stuff with AI, this is how your brain should think, is how does this come together as a whole? So I've got 4 pieces: a strategy engine, and it's basically the brain that decides what to do. Okay. I have 4 different modes, like a volume mode, a distribution mode. And do I have let's see, I think I can, what is it, 5374? Oh no. Anyways, strategy for volume, distribution, accumulation, and then paused. So that's the strategy engine. And then within there's like different parameters for each strategy, which is still a work in progress. Again, that involves some math and some testing as well. There's a risk manager. So this is what's been the most frustrating thing, because over the last couple of days, I turned off the risk manager because I was sick of it saying that it stopped because of XYZ. So this morning I had to redo it. But this is like the bodyguard, right? So can I afford to do this? Before a transaction, the risk manager asks, can I afford to do this? Are we losing too much money today? And it can veto any bad trade. It says, no, this is not the move. And this, you could think about this, like if you're actually building a trading bot to be profitable, not a market maker, you could have this like risk manager, it'd be like your profitability manager or anything like that. And then of course the execution engine, which is the hands. This is the thing that actually sends the transactions, handles the retries, and manages like batch transactions, which if you look at the transactions on our chart, like you're going to see, if you go to the smaller ones, you'll see some like batched transactions as well. And then lastly, the accountant, right? Your position tracker. How much do I own? What did I pay? And am I up or down? And I'll kind of stop there to get any feedback. And then I'm also going to pull up the front end I built to manage it.
Awesome. So while you're doing that, I just want to acknowledge one of the comments in our chat on Pump here. So I want to give you a shout out, Alexi DC, and his question, or her question, I apologize, was, when will you release the volume bot to the public and how it works?
Yeah. Honestly,
great question.
Like, I could probably clean it up and release it like as an open, like a kind of the template, like this weekend if you'd like, you know. I've got I have absolute zero reason to gatekeep any of this. This is the whole point. So how about this? Who was it? Alexi? Was that their name?
Yeah, ALEXEDC.
Okay, Alexi DC. In
Yeah, I'm gonna take over the screen share for a second. I'll give him a proper shout out.
Yeah, do it.
There we go. On the top right here. Here's our man or woman again. Apologies. Absolutely doxing you right now. Hey, and they are also a ship holder, 20 million ship. Super
go.
grateful for your support here. This is awesome.
Hell yeah, Alexi. Well, I got you.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. Psych. I'm actually still here. I'll release it this weekend. So yeah, keep the notifications on for the Web3 Matters account. If you aren't already following the Web3 Matters account, if you go on the pump page, I believe it's down in the links, like, you know, with the website and whatnot right there. Yes, sir. So yeah,
web3matters.xyz, and yeah, definitely follow that to the shipyard link. Everything will be available there.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like I said, I have no, this is not a crazy proprietary thing by any means. And the whole point of what we're doing is so we can share. And I'd be open to even like getting on a call or doing like a little workshop with you one-on-one on stream this weekend if you'd like as well. Like once you maybe kind of start building that. So yeah, I did get the front end, and then I'm gonna try to kind of speed through this next section. Boom. So here we are. So this is the front end that I've built. It's, you know, it's obviously leaving some to be desired for, but the point is nobody's seeing it except me, right? So over here on the right-hand side, it has our portfolio. It has the total SOL among these wallets, and then it has the total tokens among these wallets. So since I've turned it on, it's done 13 buys and 14 sells. And then you can kind of see the different token balances or wallet balances right there. In the middle, of course, there's the logs. And then here's our mode over there, right? So we can go pause, we can go to volume, and then we can go down to our accumulated distribute. We can go down to our configuration. This is where we set the amount of SOL per buy. When it sells, how much of percentage are we selling? How long in between each cycle of 15 transactions it goes. Now, I think logically it would have maybe made more sense to like, instead of batching at 90 seconds or batching at the interval, like spreading them out. But hey, one thing at a time. I got it to work, so I'm like, I'm not touching the interval until I have a really good reason to. And then the risk manager right here, which I built this morning, so I could actually see what's going on with the risk manager. This is just tracking daily P&L, drawdown, active trades. Okay, these might actually not be working, but how much peak capital did we have, right? So
love it.
And then you can edit risk limits right there. So yeah, go ahead, Trav.
I have the chart pulled up. Do you want to try turning it on and we'll see how the chart reacts? I've got it on the minute chart. Maybe I can even get it down a little bit lower here. Let's see, 1 second chart, and then we can actually see these buy and sells happening. Oh, you're on mute there, Kobe. Okay, cool.
Kobe seems to be frozen now.
That might be you, Quantic. He's looks good to me. I do have him on mute right now. I'm guessing he's just trying to get this kicked off here.
Boom.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So it's going.
Yeah, it should be. So remember, you've got to hit the toggle to go to the transactions smaller than 0.05.
Okay, I actually have the chart, the second chart here, so we will also be able to see that potentially.
Gotcha.
Do you think it'd be better with the chart or with the transactions?
Transactions, if that way you can like confirm that they're coming in. Yeah, I see them going through right now too. There was just one that went through.
There we go.
Right now.
Hey, look at that little green candle. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And so, okay, look, we did have an error, right? So this is not an error or anything with the bot itself. If you've been on Solana for longer than a day, you'll notice that sometimes like you try to squeeze in a transaction at the end of a block, and then basically the block height fills up, right? So you can only do so many transactions per block, and blah blah blah. That's going to be just something that happens. So yeah, it's cooking right now. I basically have it set to kind of be this like 51-49 ratio, basically, to where it's buying more, slightly buying more than it is selling, right? So
Okay.
again, I have to go and keep an eye on it. But the cool thing is I can turn off my computer. This is actually running on a cloud server, and but I have the dashboard. I can only run the dashboard locally. So in theory, it's much safer, right? Like I don't have a hosted front end somewhere that somebody can like hack into or anything like that. And it is password protected as well. So
Nice. Nice. Perfect.
yeah. So
Also,
what
I
are you?
do just want to give Alexia another shout out. He did confirm that he is a he. So thank you. And apologize for any offense. None intended here. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
shout
Yeah,
out.
look at this. Chart's getting a nice little bump too. I'm curious if any of these are external bots that have been attracted to the volume being generated, or if this is like natural buys from actual humans here. Very, very curious. This is
Right.
fascinating.
Hard to say for sure. And again,
Mhm.
like I think if we decided to put 100 soul instead of one soul in there, like
Yeah.
obviously that's going to do something
Yeah.
as well. The only thing is, if you're just like banging these out over and over again, like you're going to, even though gas is dirt cheap on Solana, you're going to run out of money,
For sure.
like
And
on
then
gas.
fees, of course, as well is a part of it. I know there's pump.fund fees for each transaction as well here. So for
Yeah,
sure, there
which
is
you can
a
split
limit.
with the creator, right? So if you're making a market maker for your own token, like you're gonna pay the validators or whatever for gas, but you're also gonna pay pump fund, but you also gonna be paying yourself as well. So keep that in mind.
Love it, love it. Right. So what it kind of balances out, especially if the idea for this is to attract that outside volume here. I can see how the math would make it very much worth it. So that's awesome. So once again, guys, we are talking about how to actually build through vibe coding a market maker bot to generate volume on your pump.fund chart so that it attracts other bots so that and eventually it could attract actual human interaction here. And the reason that we're doing this is Dex Screener itself requires, I think you said, Kobe, one transaction a day to keep you visible. So that's very important to us. And then also we want to, yeah, just keep that volume alive, keep this token alive while we are building the fundamentals of this project here, because that is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for us is to create an ecosystem that empowers you, our viewers right now, our community to become vibe coders, to learn how to do this yourself, to be able to change, turn from a subscriber to a builder. So then you can create any app you want to put your mind to here. So very, very exciting here. And it definitely looks like the chart is, yeah, it's reacting very positively to this here. So that's great. Yeah, sorry that sort of cut you off there. Any thoughts from your end there, Q? I haven't heard your voice in a while, and I miss you.
Yeah, so actually the main question that I have is not even for the audience, it's for you guys that are on the builder side, Kobe and Trav. How are you feeling about the whole situation with the chart and all of that?
Maybe I'll start off with that. You know what? I'm feeling okay. Like if yeah, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. And fact of the matter is that all of crypto is down in the mud right now. Like we haven't been this low on any of our blue chips in over a year, probably close to 2 years right now. And that we said from literally minute one in our live stream where we launched our shipyard token here is that we're not concerned with the price. We are concerned with building a community, creating products, creating um, educational content to build our community and to reward you guys for supporting us this entire time here. So I'm okay with it. We're still not at all time lows. Every time we are active, every time we have a live stream, the chart comes alive, which is great. And Yeah, 15.5K for a token that's been around for 7 days right now. I think it's pretty fantastic. I'm fully into that, especially seeing how we have, multiple tens of viewers on our live stream on Pump as well. I'm okay with it for now because I know it's inevitably going to succeed. How about you, Kobe?
Yeah, I mean, I really like, of course, I mean, it's like we could say that, yeah, we don't care about the chart all we want, but like secretly, of course, like you kind of do. And not necessarily like from a financial perspective, but more as like, hey, the chart, in a way, if you're narrow-minded, a chart is like a direct reflection of the team or the project that's behind it, right? So if I check my ego at the door, I could give two shits, to be honest. And I think that like having these lows and these like pullbacks is great because we need to buy the team. We need to purchase more supply, right? Our kind of our long term vision for this is to also create an ecosystem where we're supporting other builders with like mini grants and stuff like that. But so in order to do that, we need to capture as much of the supply as possible. So that's a benefit of things being down as well. And like I've launched before. I've been part of like small teams, and like this is like a chart not performing is not a new it's not a new emotion or not a new feeling for me. So I think that is kind of an advantage that I might have over you guys for this. Like, it doesn't bother me. However, with that being said, just because I don't give a shit about the price, just because low prices don't bother me, doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do everything in my power to make the help the chart perform well, right? So that's kind of where I stand.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Q, based on kind of those two, our responses there?
Well, I think that you guys have a perspective that I understand from the position you guys are, and I think that that's very valuable. Um, and I think that as a builders, you guys are doing a good job, a great job. Especially Kobe, like look at this thing
Huge
that you're
shout you.
showing now. It's amazing. Um, but I think that the way we are progressing with everything related to the token and marketing, it's among the worst things that I've seen. And I have to take full responsibility into it because I should have stepped up the moment I understood what was going wrong, but I just couldn't execute, right? I'm doing other stuff at the moment as well. So yeah, like if we have someone right now listening on pump.fun, I actually to I want you to know that I'm gonna be taking care of this stuff. I kind of figured out what were the things that are going wrong and what needs to be corrected. However, knowing something and being able to execute it yourself in the way you want it, it's a different thing. And I haven't been able to do so. I have relied some of that work with other people, and I need to log in and do it myself essentially. So at some point, I'm gonna ping you both, Trav and Kobe, so that we can figure out some of these details. Um, but yeah, I don't feel that we are doing a great job there, and I think it's like pretty obvious if you look at the social media. However, I do understand the lens that you are um looking at this from, and I have changed my own view after learning more about how this stuff works. Because to be honest, I also didn't knew much about the whole meme coin or charts kind of thing, trader stuff, right?
100%. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. And you know what, that's helpful and that's refreshing here because this is I think one of the number one downfalls of a founder is to put too much of their attention and energy into building, not enough into marketing and being, founder forward here. And while yes, we do our live streams, while we do at least a daily post, maybe a couple of daily posts, if we really want to be successful, we cannot fade the marketing, the outreach, the engaging engagers.
Right.
Does that
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah, yeah.
Distribution. We can't undermine
Distribution.
distribution. Yeah.
There we go. So
Yeah.
no,
So
that's it's not going to happen just out of thin air.
right. Yeah. It's just that the project is tricky because it has two components, like the builder side, which again, I think this is being executed properly because this is our craft, right? Like being real people, teaching real stuff, trying to create
Mhm.
real products, regardless of it work or not. And then there is the whole meme coin culture stuff, trading, attention, distribution, and that has been awful. And that's what I've been learning during this time. But again, I haven't been able to properly execute. And I think that at some point, you really need the hands on of the people that created the project with the vision so that the
Yes,
execution is showing directly that way and not just trying to delegate some stuff.
I
Totally
love that.
agree, bro. If I could jump in, like, I think that as a builder who's like personally, as a builder who has like failed at marketing before, which is crazy because I like for the first year of college I was a marketing major, but then I was like, okay, fuck this is stupid, which makes which makes sense where I'm at now. Um, I agree, well, like 1,000% about kind of that like message, like the top down messaging, being super crucial. So I would propose, and I know you're on the road still, Q. Maybe if you are, but I have pretty much the first half of tomorrow completely open. As long as I don't stay up with all night with Claude Opus 4.6, then I will be up early and trying to maybe align with you in a time zone if possible, Q, to talk about some of this strategy as somebody who has shaped the vision of this of Shipyard, right? As a card holding, as a union card holding Shipyard crew member.
Should be Yardian.
Yeah, I'm a shipyardian. Then I have some good ideas and I have some resources that I'd like to share with you also. A lot of like Claude skills for content batching, right? Which I've talked about before. But again, I think it's again one of those things where it's like, hey, if you want it done right, do it yourself. And so I'm willing to get my hands dirty a little bit and help at least nudge us in the right direction with some of these. I don't want to call them automations, but just like batching. Like, dude, these Claude skills files are crazy, and if you give Claude the right context with those skills files, and like the right messaging alongside it, like it could be. I don't want to say dangerous, but like we could if we follow through, if you guys take my advice, and if I kind of help nudge us there, I think we'll be in a better place in 7 days next time we get on this live stream than we are now with the distribution. I'm confident, even if it's
Okay.
just 1%, but I'm really confident that we're I can get us nudged in the right direction.
So there's our challenge. You guys heard it right here. By next Friday, 1 week from now, in our live stream, we will be at least 1% better. You guys ready? You guys ready to take that on? I'm ready.
Yes, I am ready. Yeah, I'll love it. Let's do that, Kobe. I'll ping you once I have a chance from my end. I actually have to drop right now, because I've been calling to do some other stuff. But I just want to say to the people that are watching and are like into, are thinking about holding or not, I'm gonna fucking fix that chart, and I already figured it out. I have to just sit down and execute. And when
I
I'm
love
I'm
it.
done with that, it's gonna be amazing, right? It might take a little bit of time, but I'm not here to share some bullshit stuff. Every time I share something and I say it's gonna happen, it ends up happening because I'm not here like putting my name and my word out of nothing. And I know that you guys, Trav and Cove and Kobe, are real ones. So yeah, with that, I just want to say goodbye, guys.
All right. Thanks for joining us there, man. I appreciate you. And yeah, look forward to cooking with you, my friend. This is gonna
Heck
be
yeah. And when you get some
awesome.
time later, dude, I'm about to like go through the Polymarket bot. I'm just gonna show like a high level. So if you have some time on the train or whatever later, like definitely take a look back at this recording. I think you'll think it's cool. So
Yeah, it's amazing. These things. Okay, the final thing, because this is like too exciting for me. Um, all of this stuff right now are kind of mini apps, right? They do not look like products yet, but when we finish with this stuff, it's gonna be like very powerful products. We're gonna take it one step at the time. We don't want to get burned, right? We're just a team of 3, 4 people trying the best way we can. But in this case, the time is in our favor because we are continuously doing this stuff each week, right? And we're just keep getting better and better and better. So yeah, that's our commitment.
Love it. Fully shared on that commitment here. Thank you, Quantic. Safe travels over there, and look forward to connecting with you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys.
Have a good one. Perfect. So, where are we at there, Kobe? Are we moving on to the predictions market topic here, poly market?
Unless you want to, yes. Unless you want to pivot, yeah, it's your call.
No, you know what? You have like 99% of the content here for this live stream, so you steer the ship. You're a shipyard captain.
Heck yeah, aye, Captain. Okay, cool. So I've got like 5 different little like visuals here. Also, Claude 4.5 or 4.6 is fucking so good.
So sorry. I do want to give one more shout out to Alexi DC. Can't wait any longer. He said he's been here since minute 1.
What a legend.
Huge shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for your faith. We will absolutely be delivering for people like yourself. You're awesome. Back at you there, Kobe.
Okay, question. Are you able to, man, I need to get a look at Stream Deck so I can mute and unmute while don't have the tab open.
All good.
So yeah, if it gets too crazy, just mute me or mute me or boot me, but don't scoot me. Okay. Now that I got that cringe out of the way, so what this is Poly Market Trading Bot. If you guys are like following, vibe coding Twitter or AI Twitter, or even crypto Twitter, like that's where Trav shared me some of the inspiration for this was from a crypto Twitter guy. So the OpenClaw framework, which I'm actually just going to pull up real quick. So this is an open source way to build an always on AI that's kind of like always learning. And obviously there's like different bells and whistles that you can, there's different customizations you can do. You can just download a companion app for your Mac if you'd like to just have kind of this like boilerplate version of their bot, or you can actually download the source code and do with it what you want to do, which is what I've done, because I just can't do shit halfway apparently. And so there's 2 sides. The OpenClaw framework is only living in the brain, okay? So we've got the brain on one side, Polly is the agent's name. And on the left side, we've got the pipeline or the muscle, right? Which is the data pipeline. So the easiest way to, if you've been working with AI, you understand this, that if you give AI the same question 1,000 times, you're not gonna get the same 1,000 answers, okay? It's called non-deterministic, and so that'd be the brain. The muscle, the data pipeline, this is a deterministic side. No AI, it's just data in, scripts that run back testing, pure math, no AI, no guessing. It never evaluates any data. It just simply reports data and then outputs the results, okay? And then it's going to send that data. As you see, we've got a little like pipeline here. So pipeline output, right? Data output. And then the data flows one way into the brain, into Polly, and he evaluates, spots patterns and reasons, reads this data, never writes to the data, messages me on WhatsApp or Slack or Discord or Telegram even, and it recommends, it never executes trades, at least in this like V1. I'm not doing any trading, we're simply gathering data, and then we're gonna do like ghost trades or fake trades, right? So here at the bottom too, it says, Polly recommends, we decide, no auto execution. Again, that's just in this kind of like phase 0 there. So, Trav, do I move on? What do you think? Where are you at?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So this is like this full system architecture. I won't get into the weeds necessarily, but obviously we're building it for Polymarket, so we need the Polymarket API. There's great documentation out there that you can give to your AI. There's also skills files, which I'll share alongside kind of the distribution of this, that tell your AI how to use the Polymarket API. And
Wow.
so, right? So Polymarket uses Chainlink Oracle. So that's the Oracle or the price feed that we're going to use, right? That way we can read the price on Polymarket, read the Chainlink Oracle feed, see if there's mispricing, okay? Because if the Polymarket price has not updated from the Oracle, then that means that's a misprice, that's an arbitrage opportunity. Anybody can figure that out, right? And then the last piece here is the exchange APIs. Again, just another, this was more so for the candlesticks. Like, I have a bot running that's like taking a snapshot of Polymarket, taking a snapshot of the Chainlink price oracles, but then also just like on Binance, like getting the candles over the last like year, like every 1 minute candle for the past year I've gotten, right? So that's
Wow.
over 500,000 candles ingested so far. So right
Unreal.
now it's running 24/7, this collector, and then I have built the ingester, right, which is the candles, and then the back tester, which is the strategy simulation, like taking these like known quant trading strategies, which again, there's also Claude skills files for this. Literally, bro, almost everything you can find a Claude skills file for, and if you can't, you can make one. It's literally a text file. And I found one for more for Remotion, which I'll share with you off stream. And again, this is kind of redundant here: collector, ingester, back tester. But the fun part here is the brain, Poly. First of all, do you like the name?
I love the name. I think that's right on point. Very creative.
Okay, cool. So that's the brain, right? So it's going to back test results. It's going to use like strategy predictions, feature important, oh, this is a typo, important data, and then out of sample splits, which would kind of be like the mispricing. It brings in market data, live context. So if it's in a trade, it's going to know it's in a trade, right? Like this is again using the OpenClaw framework again, formerly ClaudeBot. And where is the maybe it's not in here, but inside this the bot, I've put 50. Well, there already comes with a bunch of agent skills. I've put like 6 new skills that I've found elsewhere into the agent as well. It's got a whole directory. It's like skills, and there's subfolders that have quant strategies, how to use Telegram, those types of things, and that's going to just help it get better over time. And that's basically what this presentation is missing. This is what makes it cool. Like the data ingesting, the heavy amount of data ingesting makes Poly different from other Polymarket bots I've seen. And the learning over time and getting better is what makes it unique, I guess, or like what makes it good.
That makes a ton of sense.
Right. And so, you've experienced this, Trav. I've experienced it. If you've ever used AI, you notice the longer your conversation gets, or if you're vibe coding, the longer the tasks get, it gets dumber. The further along in the chat you get, that's because of context window. But the cool thing with how OpenClaw works and how I'm going to customize it even deeper is that here's an example. So when it makes a trade, it's going to log the trade into a database, okay? And then when that trade's up, regardless of like win or lose, it's going to reason and put its reasoning results inside of a markdown file that's kind of be its like running memory. And say like we won, but not just stopping in that it won, but like why did it win? Did it get lucky, or did it win because it predicted the most likely outcome based on like probability? Did it lose? Did we make the right bet but still lose because of variables, right? So it's going to like over time just get smarter and smarter and smarter. That's the idea, right? So I'm like so excited for this because this is something that I've wanted to do for a while in terms of like this always on AI.
That's really exciting. And to add a little bit of context here, I do want to give a quick shout out to the individual who kind of gave me the inspiration to suggest this, and that's Charbel. Charbel Huge shout out to you, my friend. Maybe I'll just get
I-
you. Actually, I can't
got it.
do a screenshot. Okay, you got it. Perfect. Yeah, he started off with, I think most recently, the most recent post. So far looking promising. 0 losses today so far. 90% all-time win rate. Just today alone, he's had 20 wins, 0 losses, which is insane.
Yep.
Plus,
And
he's
he's
up
saying the
24
same thing,
bucks.
dude. It's not just trading, it's learning, right?
Yeah, that's
So
exactly it.
he makes a great point here too, bro. He says, at what point do you think AI agents will become the default trading tool for all traders? Oh, whoops. Sooner than later, right?
Yeah.
So the cool thing about crypto and why like arbitrage bots have been a thing for so long is because there is a lot of market inefficiencies, which basically means spread out liquidity all over hell. And arbitrage bots basically fill those inefficiencies, fill those gaps, and they're able to profit tiny amounts each time to make the market more efficient. Now, that's deterministic, but imagine when everything is deterministic plus non-deterministic, learning over time. Like, I guess I say all that nerdy shit to say soon it's not going to be this easy, I don't think. And it already is not that easy. So it's only soon it's going to get even harder to kind of find an edge in these types of things. That's why I'm barely going to sleep this weekend. Just kidding. I just got over being sick, so I need to sleep, but I don't want to sleep.
Man's got to sleep. I get it. I get it. But hey, I just should also emphasize, if you're watching us here right now, you picked a perfect time to be doing this because it's not going to be this easy for much longer. Exactly. So if you guys want to learn how to do this, definitely pay attention. Maybe pick up a ship token or two. I don't know if legally I'm allowed to say that, but I just said it. So we'll see what happens there. And you will gain access to all the information on how we are building this, how we are making it happen. We'll give you resources on how you guys can create this for yourself. And yeah, just stay tuned, because like seeing that you can get win rates of up to 90%, even more potentially, is crazy. Like some of the best traders I know are successful with 55, 60% win rates, some even 45% win rates.
Yeah.
Like to beat 90% effective is unheard of. That's wild.
And that's what makes me think, am I over engineering this? You know, like I still am kind of on the fence of like, I might be over engineering this solution because it doesn't seem like, I watched Charbel's video, like it doesn't seem like he's doing the big like data ingestion that I'm doing. Or he's just kind of leaving some of that out, right? I don't know. I'm gonna follow my gut, and my gut says even if you aren't like gaining a huge edge over somebody like Charbel, it's still good practice to take in data. And I really just love the idea of having a product or an app or a tool or whatever the hell this is called, a bot that has a deterministic side and a non-determined, a muscle and brain. Like I
That's super
think
cool.
that is good practice for big apps. Like
That makes a ton of sense.
if you're going to have the huge app with all these users, you're going to want parts that aren't AI, no matter how good AI gets. So
That makes a ton of sense.
speaking of AI getting good, 4.6 just dropped. Jump over to my fucking Twitter. There's a banger thread here. It's really nerdy. If you want to get nerdy with me, you can go through. They even launched parallel agents, which basically means agent swarms. So I'm freaking stoked for. I think OpenClaw got them sweating, Trav. To be completely honest.
Wow. Okay. No, that's good to know. That is very good to know. I do just want to acknowledge a couple of comments here. Alexi DC mentioned, hey guys, 10% and 12%, are they yours? So the 10% one is. The 12%, I'm not sure who that is, but they have been holding consistently since day one, essentially. And then he also, Alexi also mentioned locked tokens. Investors get scared of big holders. Yes, we have locked a significant amount of our tokens.
13%.
How much? Sorry, 15?
13, just over 13%.
Perfect.
Locked. We also own that 10%, right? Which you already said.
Yes.
And then on like my personal wallet, I think I own like 1%. The dev wallet owns 1%. And
I
Yeah.
own 0.6% as
Let's
well.
go. Let's go.
Working on accumulating that.
Well, dude, now today is the day, I think, to be on. Well, I don't want to say I don't, NFA DYOR, of
Yep.
course. Um, but yeah, we've actually talked about the other wallet, like the 13%.
Mhm.
Like I said earlier, like I've been part of launches on smaller tokens before, never on Solana, never in this kind of like pump fund environment. Um, but it's kind of just comes with the territory when you like are unable to just like scoop the supply up and then pump the price. So it's on us, to be completely honest. It's on us for kind of not coming to the table with more capital, ready to scoop. Um, but now it's too late, right? And he's got that supply, so it kind of is
Yeah.
what it is. And um, the positive way to look at it is this guy or gal clearly knows at this point that this is not a meme token, meme coin. So he must believe in what we're doing, and shit, maybe he's listening to us right now.
Yeah.
And so he must believe in kind of the mission here of like democratizing vibe coding.
I love that. I love that. So yes, huge shout out to you, wallet holder that starts with CE. Appreciate you not dumping and taking our token. That is awesome, and we are excited to be able to show to you that it's worth your time holding, because we are here for the long term. That is for sure. Perfect. Kobe, I need to wrap this up here pretty
I do
soon.
too. I should have been wrapped up.
Okay. Any kind of final thoughts you'd like to share here before we hit the road?
No. I would say to Sharp, or not to Sharp Bell, but to Alexi, like, yeah, dude, thanks for prompting me to drop like the market maker bot, like the volume bot framework, and I 100% can do that this weekend. Just have to do a few more scans through just to make sure that it's 100% safe. And I'm not like leaking any secrets or anything. But yeah, if you want to DM me, here's my account right here, my personal account. You can also DM the Web3 Matters account. And yeah, if you like have questions or want to jump on a call or whatever, like this is like I live to build and build to teach, right? So the door is wide open, man. I was a substitute teacher for 3 years, and so I love teaching. So you wouldn't be a nuisance at all.
No, absolutely not. And I appreciate you extending that invitation here. Definitely kind of follows the ethos that we have at Web3 Matters, which is we're not winning unless you guys are winning. And we've been around Crypto X for 3 to 4 years now. And our mission since day one has been to provide value. And we really hope to be able to show that even just quantifiably on our chart here. You can see the only thing that's been happening with the developer deployment wallet is buys.
Yep.
And we are not selling. We are here for the long run. We are here to take those tokens and give them back to our community in terms of micro grants for builders. And we want you guys to succeed, because we live in a time where opportunity is massive. It's never been easier to get started on building something so that you can profit. You can become financially stable for yourself here and for your family. So this is what we want to do. We want to take all this information. We want to make it accessible for you and digestible, in the sense that there's so much out there. Come to us so that you can see what's relevant, what's not, how the best way is to navigate throughout all this, and we'll make it happen here. So yeah, stellar stream as per usual there, Kobe. What do we got here?
Man. Oh, this is Anthropic spent $20,000 to test out the new like long running agent feature, basically at 4.6, to build a C, which is a coding language compiler, and it can run Doom. So
What?
this is pretty cool. I talk about it in the thread that I it's quite nerdy, but I did talk
Yeah.
about it in the thread. So
Unreal.
they got a whole blog about it. It's pretty cool. And my thing, at least kind of, I like to talk about like the economics of AI, especially like from a user perspective. And so there's some kind of gems in there, or like takes that I have, that actually $20,000 for a compiler actually is cheap. Which
Wow.
so yeah, if you guys are into that as well, like definitely drop me a follow. I'm like shilling the hell out of my account, but I really want to hit 1,000 followers. I think I only need like 10, so go help
Are you
me
not
out.
at 1,000 yet? That's crazy.
No, I know. I think I'm at 980, 991. But I put the
991.
GFP back to this guy. I think I'm going back to the cartoon. So that's
Okay.
gonna get me to 1,000.
Perfect. I believe it. Awesome, dude. Okay. Excellent. We're going to wrap this up now, guys. To everyone who's here with us on X, we have, hold on, how many people are with us here right now? Let's find out. We have 120 people watching on X. We have another, let's see here, Pump. 24 people hanging out with us on Pump. Appreciate you guys tons. This has been a really helpful live stream. I know for me, and I hope for you as well. Definitely stay tuned. We will absolutely be back next Friday, and for sure we will be back at least a handful of times between now and then as well. I'm actually in the works of connecting with some top creators and other Solana builders, and we're going to be hosting them for live streams within the next couple of weeks here as well. We're really excited to dive into that. And yeah, like Kobe said, in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything you want to learn about, anything you'd like a product for, let us know. Reach out, drop us a DM in our Web3 Matters account or either of us, and we'll make it happen. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff.
Cheers,
All
everybody.
right.
Well, I'm gonna stream tomorrow, probably like mid-morning. I might not be on I might not even be on camera. I might just do screen share vibe coding shit. So if you want to nerd out, I'll be doing it from my personal account and into the Pump Fun page as well.
Perfect. Love it. Okay, I will do my best to join you there, Kobe. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you soon.